What is up, everyone? This is Sorkin090 and this is going to be Operation Bedrock 198, the 198th episode of the Operation Bedrock series, a series where my friends and I we're going to be mining the entire world until there's nothing but bedrock left, except for the floor, of course, because we need something flat to walk on. So I just want to say this real quick that I've already broken my record of the longest live stream I've ever done, and that would be on the prison server of prison.envyblock.org. So yes, it's part of the EnvyBlock family. That DG made a brand new server and is a prison server. It's kind of funny how I actually wanted to have a prison server to be made, or at least we could actually have some aspect of a prison server, and it says I could actually work with that, and then he makes it. I'm not saying that was my idea, but I just wanted something along the matters of I wanted to actually use the in-game money to actually buy some ranks, and then there we have a brand new server to actually do all of that. So prison server is pretty much a survival world with PvP, and the main objective is to show off your status, really, because you have to work for it. You have to mine up all the resources. It always resets by the hour, but you still got to mine up the resources, make the in-game money, and then use that in-game money to actually buy the in-game ranks, and then from there you have perks and things like that. So that is what it is. That it's a lot of fun, actually. I love to mine. Obviously you could see here, look, all of this, all of these blocks. But yes, I love to mine, and I have an objective to go for, and it's actually pretty nice to do something like that. So every now and then, from what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be live streaming on that server, which is going to be Road to Prestige, because the way it's set up is that you have ranks A through Z, and then from after Z, then you could prestige. I don't know how much it would cost to prestige, but you could prestige, and then you could get more benefits and more perks along the way. Because from A to Z, it's going to cost exactly 509,850 in-game dollars. So it's going to take a while. But I believe that I could actually get along with that. But I broke my record. I've already gotten 9 hours and 15 minutes of live streaming on that server. Yes, it was some slow moments here and there, but I rely on the chat to help me actually talk about what's going on the server or what's been going on. So it really helps me and helps you. It helps everybody around. And I was also able to have DG as my friend going on to the live stream himself, and he was also live streaming on his part too, that we were just live streaming the server. We're just talking to each other, talking to the chat and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just live stream every episode of whenever I go onto the server and see how far I can actually get. So it's going to be Road to Prestige live streaming on YouTube or possibly even Twitch, and then I'll export it to YouTube. But again, if you'd like to join us, it is prison.envyblock.org. So respect the rules, respect the staff, and respect everybody else. Just have fun, but just be careful. It is survival with PvP. If you're in the danger zone, then be prepared to be attacked. And it's just going to be one of those things that you're always going to have to look out. Just pretty much be careful out there. It's going to be ruthless. So that's all I can say for that one. So the main thing I want to talk about is an update of what has happened earlier this week. And I've already discussed about this on Operation Dome, so if you don't know, then I advise you to actually watch that video for a little bit more details. Details, I don't even know how to talk right. Okay, alright, let's move on. That in a recap, I'll show pictures as well, that there was a hit and run on the cobblestone wall of my house. Thankfully that we had a cobblestone wall, because if we didn't have that oh my god, I've been saying cobblestone wall, haven't I? It is a cinder block wall. If it was a cobblestone wall, maybe it would have actually been better for our situation, depending on how you want to look at it. But in any case, so the cinder block wall completely destroyed. We had to replace the entire wall because it's already cracked along the other half. Just on the beginning, on the left hand side, it's already cracked right in the middle. So all it takes is just one big push, and then all of it will be tumbling down. So we have to replace the entire wall, and it's going to cost us a lot of money through our insurance. So it was a hit and run, because what has happened is that I was in my room, I was getting ready to record. I thought if only I hit that record button, that would have been perfect, honestly. But yeah, you can't plan things out like that. Just anything could happen, and then this just happens. So I heard a screech and I heard a thunk. And the first thing I thought, it was my truck again. Because my truck has already been hit twice. And then it would have been 3 times the charm. So I ran outside. I was in my pajamas crying out loud. I had the pajama pants. I was barefoot. I was just out there just to see whether or not if they actually hit my truck. That's all I cared for because that's my only way to go to work. And lo and behold, they did not hit it. At least that was great. But then when I looked at the street, I saw a silver car or silver SUV type of vehicle. I'm not so good with vehicles, but it was silver, and I see that there's a bumper hanging from the front end, and it was being almost dragged across the street. It was touching the asphalt. It was just like a loose tooth that was just touching the asphalt as I was driving away, and I said out loud, like, you gotta be kidding me. I walked around the corner, and the wall was hit. There's already a little bit of pictures here and there, and I'll show you guys more of the damage that has been caused, as well as the skid marks that are on the road. It was a hit and run, and for all we know, they panicked. And I did call the police. I did file a police report, because if they get caught, at least we could say that we filed a police report, and they were looking for them, and then of course that it would help us on our insurance claim, because you gotta have proof somewhat. If we didn't have a police report, it would have been harder. So it would have been harder to actually say that this is what happened now. So yeah, we had to file a police report to actually help us on our insurance claim. But here is what is sort of good news, but still a little bit of more drama, and as well as what the situation entails is that later on, the next day, that we get a note that I was not able to actually read the note, but something in my mind saying that this was a person actually hitting the wall, and there's a confession because what has been inscribed was concerning your wall. So it was either that somebody wanted to actually build a wall for us, that we had to pay them, or there was a confession. It was one of the two. I was thinking it was a confession. But I had to go to work, so I told my father, hey, here's a note. I don't know what it is, but someone left a note. He read it, and it turns out it was a confession. Not by the person who actually hit our wall, but a family member of that person who hit the wall. So pretty much, I'm not going to go into full details or personal details or specific details. I'm just going to generally say that for what happened, it was that the family member borrowed the car and they lost control. So yeah, we were sort of right. They lost control, they hit the wall, and they had the audacity to actually drive off. For whatever reason, we don't know exactly. For all we know, they may have not actually had any insurance, or they may not actually had a license, at least for the family member who was actually in control of that car. And when I say family member, I meant their family member, not our family member. Just do not get that confused now. But it was confession. They put the name and the number. They let us know what has happened, and they want to make things right. They actually offered to pay for the wall. But now for us, we had to wait for our insurance company to actually call us back to tell us how much it's going to cost for the wall to be rebuilt. Like I said, we had to rebuild the whole entire wall, not just partial, the entire wall. So each cinder block, for what I know, is going to be $1.30 before taxes, and it's going to be a lot. From what I counted, it was more than 400 blocks. So it's a long wall, and it's going to require a lot of cement and a bit of labor. But it would be deducted from the insurance company, but from what they told us is that we had to have their insurance company pay for it. And it'd be kind of ironic if we both had the same insurance company now, wouldn't it? If so, then it will make the process a little bit easier for us, but it's still going to come out of the pockets of them. So that's going to be the good news for us. They'll be able to make it right, and as well as that we don't need to have the police involved. But if they refuse to pay for it, however, then we will need to have the police involved again. We already have the name, we already have the confession, we already have the number. So that's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much a bad situation all around, especially for when the family member wants to actually take care of their own, and especially when they are covering for them and we don't know exactly for sure, but we are waiting for the phones to be called, the insurance company to say what have we, and then we're just gonna go through all that process. The last thing we need is to actually have another legal court system again, especially like the one that this was a little bit long ago of last year, that when a person hit my truck, we had to go through the legal courses, that it had to be charged so that they'll pay for the bumper, and what could have been $600 turned to $1,100 that they had to pay because they were stretching it out before the due date of the court. That would have been bad, because if we didn't bring it up by them, there was nothing we could do, because otherwise it would have been double jeopardy, and then they would have gone scot-free, and then I would have been out of bumper, and as well as $1,100 that would have come out of my own pocket. Yeah, at least we actually got that resolved. But in any case, that with this situation, however, the wall is going to be fixed one way or another. We already got a confession, we already got a name and number, so we're just going to have to see whether or not if they will pay for it, and hopefully they will pay for it. I got to give them a little bit of respect though. Honestly, they, at least the family member who felt guilty about all of this, actually is owning up to it. But we still need to have everything said and done. And once everything is said and done, then we could just move on from here. We could have a brand new wall, and we don't have to worry about paying for it, because it would be expensive if I had to actually help my father pay for it as well, because I don't know how much it's going to cost. But if he doesn't have enough, then I'll pay out of my own pocket as well, because I live here, of course. It's the least I can do to help my father out. But we're just going to have to see, and I'll let you guys know on a future update of what's been going on. Just hopefully everything turns out well. But like I said, gotta give them respect for at least reaching out, because if they didn't say anything, we would have not known, and they probably most likely would have gone away scot-free. Unless that if somehow the police were able to actually find them first, then that would be a whole different situation. But we're just going to have to wait for all the phone calls to be made, and all the deductibles and all the pricing to be had. And then we're going to see what will be the final word on either party. If they'll pay for it, then hooray. We don't have to involve anything else. If they refuse to pay, then we're going to have to bring in the force to deal with this. But that's all I could really say before I mumble on too much, because I have a habit of doing so. So in a recap, I'm on a prison server. I still play Pixelmon, but right now I'm doing the prison server due to the fact that it's a lot of fun and something different other than Pixelmon, because I've already done over 200 videos of Pixelmon. It's time for a little bit of a change to keep myself going. And it's kind of ironic where you have to do a lot of mining, but I have to do a lot of mining here. But don't worry, I'm going to be doing some live streams on Operation Bedrock, as well as Operation Dome and Let's Playing. Just have a little bit of variety. I like to keep things going. I like to keep things fresh, and like to keep things fun for me. One thing I want to work on is actually getting the good old chat from the live stream onto the actual live stream itself, so we can even interact even more, just as long as people don't spam. Because if there's spam, then there's going to be warnings, and then eventually kicks or even bans if it gets too severe, because you already know the people who like to cause problems, so that's going to be a thing. And then the whole thing about the wall being broken, I already showed the pictures, I already showed you guys or told you guys the situation, so hopefully things will turn out for us. It all turns out it was just a panicked family member of the person who hit my wall. Well, not my wall, but the wall. I really don't like saying my wall, so yeah, it's just more understood really. So there's nothing really more I can say. It's just a lot of lava though, lots and lots of lava. Let's see how much I'm gonna have to deal with, if I could actually find it. It's gonna be around here somewhere. Okay, so it's right there, and boop, and a boop. Oh no, boop. Okay. Alright, at least we got a ceiling going. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a big old lava spot. It's gonna be a doozy. So, if anything else, if you have suggestions of what Let's Play live streams I could actually do, whether it be on PC or console, let me know in the comment section below. And as well as that, If you were to tune in for the future live streams, let me know. Let me know if you actually watch all of my live streams or watch partial of it or anything else. Any suggestions I can do to make live streams better and things like that. So I'll try my best to make the live streams more lively or make the live streams better to watch. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe. And until then, have a great day everyone. I'm SortaKing090, and as always, I will see you in the next video.